In this video, I'll be discussing about errors in perception. In the last few videos, we discussed about depth perception, distance perception, which was divided into monocular cues, binocular cues. Then we discussed about movement perception. Then we discussed about size perception. I will give you all those videos in the end of the description. But today, what about we didn't discuss about we discussed various types of perceptions, but we didn't discuss any errors in perception because there are going to be errors, right? We are not perfect. Errors in perception. This topic is divided into two subtopics, which is illusion and hallucination. But before getting into this topic, as I told you in the last video, that last video is about size perception. In that, we left one topic, which was this direct perception, theory of direct perception. We left this topic, and I told you that I will be explaining you this topic in this video. So I will give you that video in the end of this video. It will pop up, so you can click on it and watch it, and it will be in the bottom of the description as well with those other videos which I just mentioned, those movement perception, depth and distance perception, monocular cues, binocular cues. I will give you all those videos, but that video, the last video, will pop up in the end of this video so that it is easy for you to watch it, because this topic, there's no point in getting into this topic before watching the last video, because the last video was about this topic. First, you have to know what size perception exactly is before. Size perception was divided into three hypotheses. Two we discussed in the last video. This is the third one. So you have to, and we discussed about the introduction of size perception as well. So I recommend you to watch that video first. Now let's see direct perception. Gibson in 1979 proposed the theory of direct perception. His ideas regarding size perception were summarized by Epstein 1982 as so Gibson in 1979 proposed the theory of direct perception, and his ideas they were regarding size perception. They were summarized by Epstein 1992 as these are his ideas, which are summarized kind of by Epstein. These are the three ideas. There is no perceptual representation of size correlated with the retinal size of the object. Now, this is also, as I told you, size perception is a topic in which there are a lot of things which are complicated, and you have to remember a lot of things. And here as well, you have to remember these points. You have to remember these things which are summarized by Epstein. These three points, and you have, as I told you, this that is a complicated topic. As I told you in the last video, I told you in the last video that after watching the video you should read it 2 to 3 times, everything in that video, and this topic also you should read after watching the video, because size perception is not like other topics which are discussed until now, very easy. This is a little bit of complicated topic. You have to read it by yourself. There is no perceptual representation. Let's see the first point. There is no perceptual representation of size correlated with the retinal size of the object. Perceived size, second point. Perceived size and perceived distance are independent functions of information in stimulation. Third point, perceived size and perceived distance are not causally linked. This is something to be noted. Perceived size and perceived distance they are not causally linked. Nor is the perception of perceived distance. And also perception of perceived distance is also not causally linked. The correlation between perceived size and perceived distance is attributed to the correlation between the specific variables of stimulation which governs these percepts in the particular situations. The correlation. Now let's see what the third point says. Perceived size, perceived distance, and perception of perceived distance. These three things are not causally linked. That's what Gibson says. The correlation between perceived size and perceived distance is attributed to the correlation between specific variables of stimulation. Perceived size and perceived distance, the correlation between perceived size and perceived distance, it is attributed to the correlation between the specific variables of stimulation which governs these percepts in the particular situations, that governs these percepts in particular situations. Now let's see errors in perception. Now let's start this topic. Perception is the process of analyzing. Let's see introduction. This is the introduction of errors in perception. This is an easy topic, just like a lot of videos. Easy topic. Perception is the process of analyzing and understanding a stimulus as it is. Now, by name, errors in perception, you might have thought about there are errors in perception. Errors happen while perceiving things. There are errors in perceiving things. That's what this topic is about. You make errors. You have errors while perceiving things. That is errors in perception. Perception is the process of analyzing and understanding a stimulus as it is. This is what perception is. The first line tells you what perception exactly is. It summarizes what exactly perception is. There's a special video I made about perception. I will give you in the bottom of the description with all those other videos. Perception is the process of analyzing and understanding a stimulus as it is. but it may not be the case every time to perceive the stimuli as it is. Knowingly or unknowingly, we mistake the stimulus and perceive it wrongly. It may be due to defect in our sense organs, as I told you, or defective functioning of the brain. Many times, the prejudices in the individual time of perception Many times the prejudices in the individual time of perception, unfavorable background, lack of clarity of stimulus, confusion, conflict in mind, and such other factors are also responsible for errors in perception. Now, what you have to remember is the line summarizing perception kind of definition of the perception, the first point. Then you have to remember the these how it happens. It happens. So the errors in perception, how they happen. In the fourth point, it might be due to defect in sense organs and all that. And this the fifth point, which is important because many times the prejudices in the individual, like time of perception, unfavorable background, lack of clarity of stimulus, confusion, conflict in mind, and such other factors. You have to remember these factors. These are responsible for errors in perception as well. There are kinds of errors: illusions and hallucinations. These are errors in perception. What exactly illusion is? Illusion is something which is you perceive it, something wrongly perceived, and hallucination is something which you maybe perceive something which is not even there. It's just many people say that they are hallucinating, they're seeing things which are actually not there. These are errors in perception. Now let's say illusion. Illusion is a false perception. Here an individual perceives a stimulus incorrectly. So what exactly illusion is? Illusion is a false perception. For example, in the dark, a rope is mistaken as a snake or vice versa. Yeah, this might have happened with you as well in many situations. Or in many, there can be many examples taken from your own life as well. You can look into your own life and you can find a dozens of examples where you have experienced this illusion or errors in perception, where you mistakenly for example this you mistakenly taken a rope as a snake or snake as a rope. The voice of an unknown person is mistaken as a friend's voice. This is I'm sure very common and and has happened with a lot of people, because I think that I don't know exactly, but I guess this happened with me as well. The voice of an unknown person is mistaken as a friend's voice. I can't guarantee you, but I guess this happened with me. A person standing at a distance who is not known may be perceived as known. Most of our illusions, yeah, this is also something which is common. Example: a person standing at a distance who is not known, who you don't know him, but still you might perceive him. Oh, he is something which I know. But when you go close to him and you see exactly who he or she is, you might realize that oh, it is someone else. Most of our illusions are visual and auditory. This is something you have to remember. Most of our illusions are visual and auditory, but illusions pertaining to other senses are also possible. Illusions pertaining to other senses are also possible, but common and most of our illusions are visual and auditory. Hallucination. Sometimes we come across instances where the individual perceives some stimulus even when it is not present, as I told you. You might see things which are not even there. This phenomenon is known as hallucination. The person may see an object, person, etc., or he or she may listen to some voice though there are no objects and sounds in reality. Hallucinations pertain to all the sensations that appear to people. Usually, individuals with unsound mind, emotionally disturbed, alcoholics, and those who are in confused states may experience hallucinations. In addition to these errors, now in order to let's summarize this before getting into the last point. So what this is saying is hallucination, as I told you, it's easy. Something which is perceived which is not there. So you sometimes perceive some stimulus which is not even present. As I told you, many alcoholics or emotionally disturbed or people with unsound mind, as you see in the fifth point, unsound mind, emotionally disturbed alcoholics, they also, and people who are in confused state, they may experience hallucinations. They experience also hallucinations sometimes. And a person may see an object, person, etc., or may listen to any voice or anything in their ear, but it's actually not in reality. In reality, there's no voice, but you are still hearing it. It's a hallucination. Hallucinations pertain to all the sensations that appear to people. So let's get to the last point, which is in addition to those errors, abnormalities in our sense perceptions may also occur and known as anesthesia, no sensation, hyperesthesia, excessive sensitivity, and paresthesia, distorted or wrongly localized sensation. In this case, is the tactile skin sensation is wrongly perceived. In addition to those errors, abnormalities in our sense perceptions may also occur. So what this point is trying to say, in those errors, in addition to those errors which we just discussed in the above points, abnormalities in our sense perceptions may also occur. In our sense perception also, abnormalities they can occur, and they are known as anesthesia, no sensation, hyperesthesia, excessive sensitivity, and paresthesia, distorted or wrongly localized sensation. In this case, the tactile skin sensation is wrongly perceived, such as when you have anesthesia, no sensation. You don't, whenever you get an anesthesia, you don't feel anything because your sensation is gone, as it says no sensation. So there's no sensation. In these cases, the tactile skin sensation is wrongly perceived. And that is it for this video. I'll give you some time to take screenshot of all this. And in the next video, we will be discussing about illusion is a big topic actually. We just saw what illusion is in this video. There are different types of illusions if you don't know. In the next video, we'll be discussing about types of illusions. It is also a different topic in itself, and it's a little bit bigger, but we will try to cover it in one single video if it is possible. But yeah, next video will be about types of illusions. In this video, we saw what exactly we kind of saw introduction to illusion. We saw what exactly illusion is. It is a false perception and all that, examples and all. Now you know exactly what illusion is, so you can now get into the topic of types of illusion to see what exactly are the types of illusions, different types of illusion. So until then, I would, as I told you, I'm uploading videos every day, so please subscribe and on the bell icon so you don't miss out any videos. You stay notified, you get notified when a new video is uploaded every day. And also like the video. And until then, if you want to leave a like, you can leave a like.